Hello, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of game and interactive media design. When I last left you, I was looking at the line tool, or splines plus lathe tool, in order to make a wine glass. And, oopsie, ignore. And the next thing I want to do is actually make that line a little bit nicer, because as you can tell, this is a really dumb looking glass. Don't worry, I can make it better. I'm going to click on the line itself and make sure that show end result is toggled off so I can just see the line. And I guess one thing I want to point out is if I actually do show this end result, does this do anything? No, it doesn't, because it's not optimized yet. Okay. Yeah, don't show end result. Let's go into front viewport, and let's actually take a look at how this is working. And we're going to start here. I am going to... Oh, you know I'm a crazy fool, so I'm going to add an edit spline modifier on here. So for those of you in my class, you know that I'm really, I love adding edit polys because I love going down the line, down the stack and seeing what's been going on. So on this spline, I'm going to add an edit spline. Edit spline is much like edit poly in the sense that I can do a lot of stuff. And I can keep adding on top of it to the stack for a really nice parametric model. Or a really nice model that I can turn on and off different parts of my modeling process. So I'm going to go to vertex mode. Much like edit poly, spline mode has like a whole bunch of different, well, vertex, segment, and spline. Let's go ahead and click vertex mode, and we can work with our vertices. Now, I am going to let's go ahead and set this vertex to exactly 0. Do I want to do that? I won't do that for right now. I'm going to go ahead and select every single vert except for the 2 and on the ends. And I'm going to right click. If you right click a vertex, up here on the top left, but down a little bit, we have 4 options of vert corners, or 4 options of vertices. Bezier corner, Bezier corner, or smooth. So Bezier corner is one, Bezier is another, corner is another, and smooth is another. And I purposefully set these to corners just so that I could draw them pretty well. I'm going to now set them to Bezier corner. Well, let's set them to Bezier at first, and you can see the difference. So Bezier, ooh, now these are all like beautiful and curved. And they have these little handles on every single vert. Look at this one over here. It's got these green handles. And if I left click and drag the handles, you can see that they're slightly connected. In a Bezier vert, these little handles are going to make curves coming out of the vertex on either side. And it's going to be basically mathematically calculated, and these little handles are exactly 180 degrees away from each other. And so that means that there's no corner. It's going to come together through this vertex in a smooth angle. There's a problem, though. And the problem is, sometimes, and this actually, I don't see the problem here, so maybe, oh, here's an example. This vertex is way out here, and sometimes I don't want my verts. Oh no, there's 2 problems I need to talk to you about. So right now, I selected this vertex, and I kind of moved it using my X only movement. And when I go and move my little green handle and left click it, I can move that as well, but alas, and alack, I can only move it in the X direction. Well, why is that? Because every time you click on this gizmo, like if I move this vertex up now and let go, now this vert can only go in the Z direction. So I have to move this handle in all directions, I have to left click the box and release. Yay. And now move around it very carefully. And left click and drag this. And now I can get it. Okay. And so sometimes the trick is if I'm going to work on this angle here, I'm going to just go like that. So I can see both handles at the same time. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of them again like it was. Okay, gonna move this. Yeah, run. Gotta move these around so much. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky. Oh, here's what I want to show you. So look at this handle out here. Oh my gosh. So if I move it close, you see how the handle on this end is so much longer than the handle on that end. And because Bezier verts, we actually aren't able to, as far as I know, we can't like change the length of this handle, because if I move it in here, it just means it's, it still moves this one in a lot more. Okay, so what do we do? Well, in a case like this, if you want your handles to be different sized, right click this one vert and set it to Bezier Corner. Now Bezier Corner is probably not something you're going to use. Well, you actually can use it. It's fine. But what a Bezier Corner can do is create a curve with a corner, a sharp corner. Okay. But what I want to do here is actually use Bezier Corner just to realign, just to kind of make these verts almost equal. Now when I right click this and set it to Bezier, it readjusts the handles a little bit. Okay. I really need to readjust these. There we go. See, this one is like that too. Oh my gosh, I don't think I needed that long. I'm going to right click Bezier Corner, move that in a little bit, right click, now make that a Bezier. And the reason I make them Beziers is because it's just easier to keep a really nice curve. Oh. Did that. Make that come out a little more. Make this like that. And something I learned from somebody is that if you have a circle, like what you want to do is every time you make a 90-degree curve, you should probably have 2 vertex points. And so as I go around this part of the wine glass, I don't want to have too many verts, but I also don't want to have too few verts. And so a good rule of thumb is as you're going around the curve, if you make a 90-degree turn, you should probably use 2. 1, yeah. Okay, now this is one where I'm going to say, you know what, this is going to be a Bezier Corner, and I'm probably going to keep it a Bezier Corner. Whoop, I can't bring it up. Why can't I bring it up, people? Because I need to click that. Okay, now I can. Oh, you're not a Bezier Corner. Bezier Corner. Come on. Now you're a Bezier Corner. Now I can bring this up like that. There we go. And bring this up like that. All right. All right. What I'm going to do now is set this to be a little bit not at the exact center. I'm going to set this to, I guess, 0.02 centimeters. I'm going to set this to be, whoops, no, these should be at 0. These should both be at z equals 0 centimeters. I'll set this to be z equals 0 centimeters. And for this one, the x equals negative 0.25. How about? So this x should equal negative 0.25. Yep. I'm going to get the z of this, or the z of this one. Oh, you know what? I don't really care. No, I do. 13.441, and I'm going to set this to 13.441. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. All right. So that is my now much more beautiful curved glass. And as I show the end result of that lathe, oh my gosh, isn't it just beautiful? That's what we get. Oh my gosh, so much better. And so if I select that and just show you the difference between those two things, yeah, it's a big deal, to be honest, what that difference is. Let's go ahead and go to the line. Yes, I know. Oh, not the line, sorry. And I'm gonna show the end results. And I'm just gonna show you what happens when I click on fewer line segments. It's actually going to, you know what? Not really that terrible. This is going to give me 1440 splines. I can decrease the number of segments. And so if I'm making a game object, I've really got to think to myself, well, who's going to see this? How far away are we going to be seeing this model? What's the overall size of this model? Do I need to worry about the way it looks here? Or do I need to really worry about this silhouette, seeing how this is, oh my god, what an ugly 8-sided octagonal object, right? Wine glasses aren't 8 sides. They should look like they have much more. Again, it all depends on how many polygons you have to render, etc. So I'm just going to keep this at 20. I think that should be fine. Maybe 24. There, kind of like 24. And then I'm going to... Oh, that's in the lathe modifier. I'm sorry. Steps is 1. I think number of steps as 1 is fine because it does optimize them. Don't want to do adaptive. Okay. Okay. So we've got a line. We edit it using the edit spline, and then we added the lathe modifier to twirl it into two, or in a circle. The last thing I want to point out is there are holes here, and I did that on purpose because if I were to have set the splines to 0, it would have ended in a point, and lighting would have been really weird. And so what I'm going to do here is just cap holes. So I purposefully left a hole going through this object. It goes all the way down. I'm going to cap holes using the modifier called cap holes. And what that does is it caps holes. And the last thing I'm going to do is click on triangulate cap. It just triangulates everything in a good way. Instead of leaving that n-gon. So if I didn't triangulate that, this is an n-gon. That is like a 20-sided object or 20-sided polygon, and we don't want that. So I'm going to click that. I could have also cut these as well, as you remember doing that with the barrel. I'm going to triangulate that cap just to make it easy on me. And this is my wine glass. There you have it, folks. One wine glass using splines and the lathe modifier. All right, bet you can't wait to see how we make another one. Bye-bye.